Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the final video in week 2. So, risk and action. So, plan and execution. Please note, hope is not a strategy. I saw a joke some time ago on Twitter that says something like, people abroad in Sena climbs have emergency, they have 919? Something like that, right? For emergency service. Um, what do we have as Nigerians? I'm a Nigerian. And someone said the blood of Jesus. That's supposed to be a dry joke. Not smile, it's not me. But anyways, moving on. Hope is not a strategy. You can't hope that, let's hope that the money is going to be enough. Or let's hope that this person is going to work, right? No. For people that are working on a project, you need to have an agreement with them, written down agreement, okay? Agreements needs to be written down, right? Written down clearly and well articulated, ensuring that they understand. Okay. So moving on, predicting the future, right? It's very important for you to know that risk is plus or minus, it will happen, right? Yeah, risk is uncertainty, it might happen. Okay, issue is it has happened already. So we have an issue, we need to fix it. So risk is the probability that this thing may happen. When you think about it, for a wedding, there's a probability that a lot of things can happen. So what you want to do as a project manager is you want to plan for risk mitigation, right? You want to have risk mitigation, not that I hope it doesn't happen. If rain wants to fall, what are you going to do about it? So to avoid your event being disrupted by rain, what would you do? Have your event in a hall, or have canopies. Do you see? So, or have umbrellas ready for people, or have shades. Do you see? So proactive planning really comes very essential in risk management. Then issue management is when, or you can, some people call it problem management. I mean, I know problem is not something that we associate with, but it's ironic that we like to say I'm a problem solver, but you don't like to associate with problems. Anyways, uh, is when something happens, then you need to react to solve it, right? Why risk is most times, if you do your risk management properly, you would more often than not have issues. Okay, so of course there are risks that you need to eliminate. Usually on a risk register, there's something called the risk level, like potential of happening or something like that, probability, risk probability. Yeah. So it is um there are 3 stages: least likely, very likely, most likely. So if you do it very well, I try to ensure that I don't have put risk that most likely will happen. I try to ensure that I avoid it as much as possible. And I don't avoid it by hope, I avoid it by planning. So if I need to rethink a particular process, I do it. Do you get? If I need to, if I've been, if I have a laptop that I want to use in making a presentation, for example, imagine if I was using a laptop that the battery is not great, or um Adobe Acrobat that I'm using to make this presentation could doesn't work well on laptop, it could just go off. That's a risk. It most likely will happen because I've seen it a couple of times. Maybe it happens 3 out of 5 times that I use it. That's a most likely risk to happen. What I'll do is, instead of trying it to say, oh, hopefully it doesn't have, let me quickly do it, I try to avoid it. I either use a new laptop, a different laptop, or I make my presentation with another application. So you get it. So that is it. So prioritizing risk. All right. So this is the risk matrix. So there are risks that are high impact, low likelihood. I was talking about this earlier, but with different terminologies. high impact, high likelihood, high likelihood, high impact, low likelihood, low impact, low impact, low likelihood. This is so there are risks here that most likely don't be bothered about them, but risk here and riskier, especially riskier on the right, high impact, high likelihood, such that it's highly likely for it to happen. And if it happens, it's going to have a major dent on your project. Avoid it. Okay, just avoid it. Avoid it. Don't plan for it. Avoid it. So what do we do? This is 4 responses to risk. So this is it. Avoid it. Change the plan to eliminate the risk altogether. Right. Like I said, choosing an indoor venue to avoid rain disturbing events. So next is mitigate it, reduce the probability. GC. Transfer is maybe you don't really have the power. Let me transfer it. Jigger, let me transfer it. If I'm going out for a presentation at a client's location, for example, and I know that my laptop does not really work well with um some screens, or I'm using a laptop that has only Type-C, it doesn't have HDMI. So when I want to make presentation, I either make it wirelessly currently on my current laptop. So, and I'm going to make a presentation at a firm, if maybe with some international partners. What I'm going to do is I am going to make a real attempt. I'm going to transfer the risk to them by saying, I'll send my presentation over to you. Please help me present it. Do you understand? And I'm just going to speak to you. Do you see? That way, I've transferred it. Accept is usually for risk that are low impact, low likelihood. Just be like, okay, if it happens, it doesn't really change anything. Do you get it? Let me give an example. Um, Give me an example. So low impact, low likelihood. I'm thinking of that in a wedding, for example. Low impact, low likelihood. So low impact, low likelihood is that the father of the day or the father-in-law is going to ask for 3 plates of food for himself and is going to ask for 10 pieces of meat. So it's low likelihood because most likely the father-in-law would not ask for that. And low impact because, okay, if it happens, there is a lot of buffer. We have so much meat, we have so much food, so it's not going to be a problem. Do you see? Do you understand? So, yeah, like I said, never accept a high impact, high likelihood task without having a proper plan. I try to avoid it altogether. Let it not be there. I fix it. So you get either by changing the process, changing the person working, just changing the approach pretty much. Okay. So go mode. You've made your plans. We are wrapping up now. Yeah. Yeah, you've made your plans, blueprints are approved. It's time to build, it's time to execute. So that execution is mostly in week 3. So we're going to be looking at this. All of these things are crucial. It's not just about doing. That's why project managers are engaged on projects. If you don't engage a project manager on a project, you will see people doing things and moving, but you run the risk of the project failing, them doing the wrong thing. So you can get to just get like different bricklayers on a site. Guys, I want to build a 3 bedroom apartment. You know how to build that. You know how to build. Everybody come together and start laying blocks, right? To get to a point, you notice somebody has laid one block that has crossed the other person. Then you need to start again, or you need to waste some resources, you need to break some blocks and start all over. Do you get it? So planning really helps you remove roadblocks, it helps you preempt issues. Okay. So at the end of the initiation phase, you have all these documents and you have it to guide your project. You walk your team through it. You walk your team through it. So look at my screen. So this is another AI gap. I just want you to see where we're currently at with AI. Right. So we have Jira and Trello currently on the screen. Jira and Trello, they are project management tools, right? We'd also do a demo of at least one of the 2 of them. So it's Trello as in, look at this place here, Crello, right? Kanban boards, things for agile sprints and all of that. So in week 3, we have more practicals, and during the live session, we'll have some worksheets. Okay. So please take note of this. Scope creep. Don't allow them say that let's just add this one small feature, right? Let them know that yes, no problem, but it cost X and delay us by Y days. Always also respond with a change request just to document that this is what we're doing before. This is how you want us to adjust it, and this is the impact, and this is what's going to cost. Okay. So this is your capstone project for week 2. Chop Life app. We are the project manager for Chop Life, a new food delivery design for African markets. The project charter is signed now. It's time to plan the execution. Create the essential planning artifact required to present to investors. Now, these are all the artifacts that I talked about: the WBS, the Gantt chart, all of those things. So work on it for Chop Life app, and let's see what you got. Okay, I'm going to ask for some of these things on the group, so please do also work on them and share so that I can review. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I'm looking forward to. So these are the things you submit: the WBS, the timeline, the risk log, and now you're a planner. Congratulations, you have made it up to this point. So yeah, upload it on your Google Drive folder and share on the group so that I could look at it and share some feedback and thoughts. Because I don't think we'll do it for everybody on a single live call. So please share on the group. Please share on the group so that I could move you. Thank you very much, everybody. See you in week 3. Bye.